what has the journey been like this year for you following your son, Ben?
Well, it's nice to have seen him finally have some successes. Last year was a real turning point for him. And I guess Bethany and I have always really been supportive and, have followed him along, and to finally see him cross that line was just amazing. And, he's had some successes this year with Boise and Muncie in 70.3 races. And I think he's feeling very fit and ready to go and capable of doing it again. It's a wonderful experience. It's brought me into the sport from a lazy golfer to a multi-sport athlete myself, and watching him, I finally decided that I would tackle it myself.
Ben pretty much entered triathlon on his own, and you're kind of following in his footsteps in a way?
Oh, exactly. Oh, yeah. He was a club sport athlete at the University of Montana. I think just looking for something to do. Had been a runner of sorts in high school and a cyclist, but took it a step further, became collegiate national champion in his senior year at the University of Montana. And that kind of catapulted him into a summer of racing in northwestern U.S. and Canada, and then decided pro card, and then away I go. And he has weathered trying to hold jobs and train, realizing that he had to train full time. So it's steps up the ladder, and he's very capable and mentally very strong. I always say about him that he's able to suffer, and there's a lot of discomfort, and as you know, Dave. So to be able to weather that and still succeed is, it's a real contest within the self, and I think like I said, it's been a great experience for me.
As parents, it's got to be rewarding to see your son on the world stage competing with the very best.
Oh, certainly so. Yes, it's hard to imagine that it's at that level, but because when you were changing those diapers, you never really thought about that. Or watching him take his skateboard down the street and run it into a curb and go flying, or to see them move along like this, it's wonderful. And there's a lot, like I said, there's a mental aspect to it that is without question as big as the physical demands, I think. And if your body's capable of doing it, and obviously these world-class athletes have the genetic makeup to allow it, but then there's a tremendous mental aspect to it too.
Yeah, there's certain characteristics of the amateur and the pro athlete that make them triathletes, and apparently you have it, your son definitely has it. Can you describe some of those characteristics? What makes a triathlete?
I guess desire. You really are always questioning limit and whether those things are actually real, and when you push them, you find that they are things that are constructs in your own mind, and then you can push them further out and further out. I'm 58 years old, and so I'm an elite just to have done Ironman in the first place, and then to have done it at my age. I think that I think it's something that's there for everyone if they choose to go through the process and start it slowly enough that they don't injure themselves, that they can largely acquire the fitness to work at that level. So, it's like I said, to overcome adversity and to recognize that the limits are limits that you create and place on yourself.